Alright, so I'm at the laundromat and I've got like a lot of books here in my bag to read. So I'm going to be working on some deep learning. Just wanted to share. Tomorrow is my anniversary. And this is not the ring I had when I got married. When I got married, I had a $10 ring. It was $10. And it was at a pawn shop, and I wore that for years. This is, I want to say, about 5 years old, and a lot of people think it's worth more than it is. I like the rubies and I like the diamonds in it, and I've been married 31 years tomorrow. And let me see. So this was about, I think on sale, it was $50 at Sears. And then my husband got one too because he didn't have one when we got married. We just didn't do 2 rings. We did one. We had started off, and I'll just share a little bit about this. I am working on relationships in my life. I've had a lot of broken relationships. I haven't heard from my husband much, and I'm really working at different things in my life, but relationships, when you've had broken relationships, to look at them, to study and say, okay, what's going on? And for me, where I've had a forced abortion, we have been talking about relationships a little bit in our class, and how an abortion will affect you in many ways in your life. So for me, a lot of relationships have just been transactional. Just, I don't want to say going through the motions. I mean, I kind of did that in school. I went through the motions, and I graduated early from school. I did a good job. But this is kind of just like, it's not all bad. I mean, when you have to be kind of tough in life, but, as you grow, you become more vulnerable, more softer when you heal from certain hurts. And as I go through this, I'm just looking back at different stuff. Like, we had kind of just broken up because I was going to college, and he didn't like that I was going to college, so we broke up, and then we got back together by chance. I happened to be at a company party. I went to school for court reporting, and they had a Christmas party, and they had set it up where he worked. So we got back together pretty quickly, only a couple months. And then we had lived together. Don't ever live together, honestly. I didn't know this, but if you live together, there's more chances of divorce, they say, and I think that's true. I think the ideal situation is to wait. And then after we lived together, he no longer wanted to be together because of us losing an apartment. And so I dated other guys, and then eventually we got back together. But that off and on was kind of, I've known my husband since 2nd grade, and he chased me from like 6th grade on. And then, let me see, so that was really hurtful to me, because I thought once we lived together, that was pretty much it. And so he wanted his freedom, so he got it, and I had mine. And then when we got married, it was kind of like, okay, let's try to fix this, let's just get married, that should solve it. And you don't ever want, when you have issues, to solve something by just getting married. So we thought that was the right thing, and for 31 years it has been the right thing. I'm not sure what's going on now, but sometimes some marriages take a lot more than other marriages. So to redo your marriage, when you can redo it and look at things again and get in there and think, okay, where were mistakes made? Did I initiate, the getting back together? I need to wait for him, not chase him, da-da-da. And this lady at the laundromat, she had saw me one day where I just, you know, I felt like crying, and she was there for me, and she asked me today how things are going and gave me some of her Christian advice to deal with a husband. And that it was very solid, very good advice. And then we had pretty much quickly gotten married. We had a nice, his backyard at the pool. We got married, and we had a justice of the peace. I was not a Christian that I knew of, so our vows were not taken before God. Although now I know that God was there, but there were no traditional vows. It was just, you know, a justice of the peace. And then I found out later that the justice of the peace let her license expire. So it was kind of almost like an annulment to me. It was almost like, okay, if she's not really valid, then did we really get married? So later on, she did get licensed. She fixed that. So we figured, okay, then we are married. And yeah, so that was the beginning. Just like all we did was go to Vermont for a weekend. I had to get back to work, and so did he. So not like a huge wedding like a lot of people have, with a lot of preparation and thought. And you know, that was what worked for me then. And so 31 years, and you know, I don't know what's going to happen next, but I am still wearing this ring because I am committed to, not so much, I don't want to sound mean, but not so much to his behavior right now, but definitely to God. And God tells us to stay married. So that's kind of what I'm doing right now.